etc.
Yep. To fight.
So Iran becomes much more difficult of a problem if you think in terms of the relationship that it has with all of these other countries.
Absolutely, and even Hamas, who rule the Gaza Strip now, you know, in the Palestinian Authority, their leaders live in Damascus. They live in Damascus. They are being funded, financed by Syria. Okay, so all these, you know, factors have a very big implication for what happens in Syria. Now, the Christians, don't forget the Christians. The Christians in Syria are very influential, just like they are in Iraq. Now, the Christians, if you ask the Christians, whom do you support? Oh, no, we don't want Assad to go. Okay? The same way the Christians in Egypt, I know when Mubarak was in trouble, when I talked to the Christians, they say, oh, no, we want Mubarak to stay. Why? Because they are scared that whatever comes next is going to be a threat to them, their independence and economic independence. Now in Iraq, 3/4 of the Christians have fled because all the businesses that the Christians, that Saddam didn't mind, you know, the Christians running, have been closed down by the fundamentalist Shiites. You know, all the liquor stores in Iraq before were run by Christians. So the Christians now in Syria are looking at the same thing. So, who is going to come in next? Now, if they overthrow Assad, all this stability we have now, if they bring in somebody who will be under Khomeini, then all hell breaks loose. So that's another threat there. What about the Christians? And a lot of them are living already, believing that something is going to happen. Now, what is going to happen is this. There have been negotiations in the United Nations. You know, Kofi Annan has gone there and talked to Assad and said, okay, let's sign agreement and all this. But my hunch is this. There will be no agreement, there will be no diplomatic settlement to that conflict. It's going to end up on who is strongest militarily.
And Syria seems to be the strongest militarily.
Exactly. Syria has a very powerful army. It wouldn't be like, you know, the army of Gaddafi. Syria has almost 500,000 people on arms, you know, under arms, with a very sophisticated, you know, equipment supplied by the Soviet Union. And the Chinese and the Russians are very firmly in support of Bashar al-Assad because they see this as an encroachment on their sphere of influence.
And so the last half minute that we have here, Dr. Madu, Assad is sort of in a good position, and he recognizes that he can continue to kill people at will because it's more difficult for anybody to really unite against him. Would that be a correct assessment in terms of what's going on?
Absolutely, because the international community now is split. There can be no unanimous vote in the Security Council with China and Russia abstaining. You know, the kind of resolution we had in Libya where China and Russia supported, now both of them said there's no way they're going to support any move against Bashar al-Assad.
And Dr. Madu, let me thank you for bringing that excellent information by, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.